So we've seen how to make the damper bread dough, and here it is. Kept it under a damp cloth just to stop it from drying out. Easy to make a damp cloth today, in between the bouts of rain. But there we go, some nice dough. And it's a little bit sticky, a little bit squidgy. It's not coming apart in my hands, that's good. Because if it's sticky, it means it'll clutch and cling to the stick. So, I like to act a bit like a pizza chef here. Slime it up and down. It doesn't do anything at all, but it makes me look good. Let's get a ball of this damper dough off. Take a little ball. In fact, I'm going to have a little less than that, actually. The thinner it is, the quicker it will take to cook. What we're going to do, we're going to roll it into a ball. You can have a bit of fun. Slam it down.
I can't get that.
Like a pizza chef. And again, slam it down. Roll it into a ball, like this. Give it a squish. Don't handle it too much, otherwise it will really dry out. And then, on a nice dry board, start to roll it. Remember, the thinner it is, the quicker it will cook. You can use 2 hands, look at that. How long can you make your snake? There's a challenge for the kids. There's a snake, as we call it. Here's a stick of willow. Remember, the willow sticks for the damper bread should be thicker than they are for the toffee apple slices, because this is going to go right over the fire for a longer time, so we don't want it to burn through. This is the trick. Put your thumb on the bottom of it, twist it round, like that, slightly pulling it, only a little bit, ever so slightly, and then on the end.
Tuck it onto the tip, isn't it?
Tuck it onto the tip. The tip doesn't need to be super sharp, it's just to stick it on. Sometimes I give it a little squash just to make sure it's got good contact there. But that's great. Some people call it a snake, I call it a twist. That is ready to cook, and because it goes all the way around the stick, we'll be able to turn it and cook all sides of the bread. Let's get to the fire. The last thing we cooked on the fire needed all the coals to be mounted up together, but now we want another flat bed of coals for baking. Think of an old-fashioned bread oven. So what I'm going to do is to rake these coals out and make a nice long cooking area for the damper bread. When you've got more than one kid cooking bread, you're going to need a larger area. So rake the coals out so the heat is where you want it. So if you've got lots of breads in a line like this, make the coals in this area. You don't need coals all the way over there. Put it where the heat's needed. And now we've got a nice flat bed of coals without any flames. We can put the damper bread above it, and we just wait. Just above the coals. That's hot. If I put my fingers there, I can't leave my hand there. That is hot. We don't want to touch the bread with the coals. We don't want black bits on there. And this is going to take anywhere between 10 and 15 minutes to cook. Don't think you can rush it by putting it closer to the fire, having a much hotter fire. Take your time. Bread takes time to bake. That makes it nice and fluffy inside. To be honest, kids quite like it. We found in our forest school when it's doughy and gooey inside, and it's not going to do them any harm. There's nothing here that, if a little bit uncooked, is going to be a problem. But I like it to be nice and fluffy and golden brown on the outside. It's already expanded, have you noticed? Let's have a look. Oh yeah, nice and golden on the outside. Let's see if we can get the same colour now on the opposite side. It's cooking nicely now. It's been about another 3-5 minutes since you've last seen it. Here's something that's important when you cook. You've got to have the damper bread flat to the coals if you can. If you have it up here like this, which bit do you think is going to cook first? The bit closer to the fire. Or if you're sitting by the side of the fire like this, only the end's going to cook and it's going to go black. So we need to get the whole edge over the coals where we can. So find a way to make yourself comfortable, or practice a bit of bushcraft and make a jig that's going to hold that in place for you while you sit back and relax. So how do we tell if it's done? Well, it could be all brown and black on the outside, but if we cooked it too quick, it could still be squidgy on the inside. So obviously don't burn your fingers, but give it a quick push. That's not feeling squidgy, it's feeling pretty good. Like crusty bread on the outside. There's no gooiness there. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to give it just another minute though. There it is, it's all done, looking nice and golden, and it's firm to the touch, doesn't feel gooey at all. Now, what am I going to have with it? Well, if it's on its own, maybe I could use it to dip in my soup that I've cooked on the fire, or have it with some beans. But because we put a bit of sugar in this mix, it's a sweet one. And I love scones. I'm a little bit of an old lady sometimes, and I really like to have scones, so I'm going to have scones with butter and jam. So, here we go. Take it off. Now you could look down the whole thing, and I can see you in the camera there all the way, and you could stuff this hole full of jam. Maybe dip it in icing sugar and eat it like a hot jam donut. That would be pretty cool. Watch out for it dripping out this way though, you'll have to catch it as you eat it. Break it open. There gets a nice twist, there we go. That's good. No gooiness, it looks fluffy like bread. And bread is best eaten when it's warm. Let's get a little bit of spread. Ooh, let's get the butter in the middle. Well, you could have it with chocolate spread like Nutella. You could have honey with it. Ooh, all kinds of things, whatever you like. Maybe you've made your own country jam. That looks good to me, and it's a great sticky food as well because your fingers get covered in it. You gotta lick your fingers. It's like hot tea and scones. All I need is a cup of tea. Very good.
Out of 10?
It's a 9 out of 10. Food always tastes better when you've had to wait for it, when you've had to cook it for yourself. Oh.